What's up, podcast? Welcome back to episode I Don't Know What. We're here joined with big time YouTuber joining us from over across the pond in Europe, Trey Bola, BaileyOP. You got like two names here, which is the first thing I want to dive into. Say what's up and then give me the origin story of your name.
All right. My name, sorry for the background noise. My name is a really edgy Xbox Live name, okay? 2012, I was 12. All my friends were like, haha, it's funny to have an edgy name, right? My last name's Bailey, and they're like, why don't you make your name Ebola Bailey? Because it's sort of, the B is pronounced in Ebola, right? So it's like Ebola Bailey. It's near alliteration, and it's my Xbox Live name. Then it became my Twitter name. Then it became my Clash Royale name when I first started. And I'm trying to get rid of it, if I'm honest. But here you are.
Here I am. That's the first thing I ask it. Yeah.
Yes.
So BaileyOP is the shift?
We'll stick that one, yeah.
Okay, BaileyOP. So it started with Ebola and shit. Got it. Okay, that's actually good. That's a good origin story.
Yeah.
For a lot of people here, I'm gonna turn this on myself already. Here we fucking go, Rozay. Big, here's the ego.
We're shooting ourselves in the foot.
Well, here we go. So my origin story, if I'm gonna make this about myself here for a second, because I actually did get this question fairly recently a couple times, so I just figured I might as well just throw it all out there so that way everyone knows. But my origin story is my last name is Rose, and the Rose, like Rozay, like the wine, it's spelled Rose with the little line above it. That's pronounced Rozay. So so in like high school or something, someone called me like, "Hey, Rozay," and then here we are. So that's how I got my name. So a little bit different than yours, but equally as interesting.
But yeah, that's actually really interesting because I was watching more recently, I was rewatching your podcast with KFC, and you said it, and I was like, he pronounces it like the wine, and it's really confusing. I actually thought that, and now you said it, I'm like, wow.
That's it right there. Yeah, I've actually got like a DM literally yesterday that some guy thought my first name was Rozay. I was like, what? I don't even think that's a name, but
it'd be a very cool name though.
Yeah, you're damn right it would be.
So yeah, Bailey's actually my last name. I don't know if I said it just now, but that's where Bailey comes from. And the OP is just, when you make a YouTube account and it asks you for two names, I was like, I just want to be called Bailey, but it wouldn't let me have that. So I was like, would you put OP on there? It doesn't even mean anything.
Yep. No, I get it. My YouTube, because I wanted Rozay to be my YouTube name, but now it's Rozay CR because you need a first name and a last name. They don't let you. YouTube, man. I don't know. I thought they would give me that permission once I hit like 10K or 20K, but I mean you're at 20K, so apparently I don't give a fuck until you're at like 10 million or some shit. But okay, anywho's, so you are primarily a YouTuber, correct?
Yes. It's perfect. It's so much more efficient for time, I find.
Oh my god, you have no idea. I'm a Twitch streamer and I'm on that boat. I'm starting to do daily uploads though because I see the potential. A, because the Clash Royale audience is mostly on YouTube anyways.
Yeah.
But B, it's like so efficient, dude. Like you post a video and then you get a shit ton of views and you're just like sleeping. Like streaming, on the other hand, I don't know if you've ever tried streaming like kind of hardcore or anything like that, but it's so time consuming.
Yeah.
You stream?
Well, I started with it and then I did YouTube and streaming. Then I was like, I'm just gonna quit streaming and do YouTube. I do like occasional streams now, like with the P.E.K.K.A. remote thing. I've streamed a ton of those, but yeah, I actually started with streaming, so I know what you're talking about. It's horrible.
My god, yeah, it's grindy. Which is for me, it's like my core audience, so I can't abandon it completely. And my YouTube audience isn't exactly as stacked as yours. Which, by the way, this P.E.K.K.A. emote thing, did that like shoot you up by like 10K subs or something ridiculous?
7K in like a week. Yes, it's been insane.
That's fucking insane.
I know.
I'm so jealous, man. Because I'm like, those of you guys that don't know, in the Supercell Creators program, there's like tiers, right? And I'm like the lowest tier. They don't give a fuck about me. And I'm like on the borderline of being promoted to the next tier, which is like 10K followers or subs between Twitch and YouTube. And A, I'm like at 9,000 something. But B, their little API thing that they use to calculate your numbers, it doesn't update. So for me, it says that I'm at like 8,000. And then I tried to refresh it by like unsyncing my accounts and then resyncing them. And now it won't let me connect my YouTube, so I'm even farther in the hole. And I tried asking them like, hey, yo, can anyone help? What's going on here? Can I reconnect this shit? They don't answer. So I'm sitting here like, I'm like stirring on this because I'm trying to get like perks. Like if I could run those tournaments, I'd be doing like 9 a day, just milking this.
Well,
because obviously
you get a limit. You can only do a 5 in total. But that, yeah. Well, they upped it to 10, but initially it was 5. But even that is insane. I had so before I did all of those, when I did any stream, my highest ever views were like 150 on a live stream. We got up to like 1,500 in a stream. just because people wanted that emote. It was insane.
So ridiculous.
I know.
And you said you gained 7K subs on YouTube just from that alone, pretty much. But that also doesn't take into account Twitter and, you know, Twitch, or, you know, all the other platforms. And then as you gain more subs, that obviously transitions into more views, and more views is better for the algorithm. So then you get pushed to, it's just like it compounds, and then next thing you know, like that one event just skyrockets you to the next level or the next unit. Have you noticed, I don't know how many videos you've uploaded since, have you noticed like a difference in views or engagement or anything like that with your videos?
Yeah,
It's only been a short time.
Pretty much doubled in views since that event. Like my views, obviously with the content I do, the views that I get are really weird. So one video might pop off and my highest ever video is like 150K, I think, somewhere around there. But some of them might just stay like, you know, under 1,000. So it depends on the topic I'm covering. But pretty much before the event, I'd say 1,000 views was like my minimum. It's like 2,000 now, so it's pretty much doubled.
That's so great. And Supercell, dude, fuck. Supercell, if you're listening, I love you guys so much. Let me in the program, please. I will literally kiss your feet and your toes. I want to, dude, I want to do shit like that so bad. Yes, it's worth that. Once dude, if you were on my end where you're just like, because I want to jump to the next level, but I'm just like...
No, like, obviously I was there not too long ago. Like, they had the creator program before they made it public, and that was always, like, my goal, because when, like, a new card comes out, I'll spend, you know, like, the next 72 hours working on a strategy video for that card, and to me, it's like, if I just had a dev build, my life is so much easier, because I don't have to stress for those 3 days, and I can just get out on release.
Especially
so that was
the kind of videos you make, yeah,
that's what I mean. So that was always, like, sort of my mini goal was to get into that program, but then they made it public, and yeah.
Now everyone's in it and it doesn't mean shit, but no, like, especially with the tier dude, with the tier I'm in, I don't even know what it's called, like swords or shit, I don't know, something, whatever, bolts, I think, maybe, I don't know, whatever tier I'm in, like, it literally means nothing. We're in a Discord and nothing happens, nobody answers my questions.
I would take it as, like, at least they know you exist, right? Maybe not
in theory. Yeah, Seth responded to one of my tweets the other day, so that was good.
There you go.
I was talking about I wanted to make sure he was stocked up on toilet paper, and then he was telling me about how he eats 4,000 saltine crackers and doesn't need toilet paper. So so that was exciting. So at least I'm on his radar. I don't know if that's a good topic to be on his radar about, but we're there. We're on the radar.
Radar regarding toilet papers.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man, because like Supercell loves family-friendly creators, which I'm assuming you are. You don't swear, nothing like that, nothing too edgy.
With my content, like, it'd be hard for me to swear. Like, when I stream, yes. But when I script something, like, forcing in a swear always feels so wrong. It feels like I'm just trying to be edgy, you know? Whereas I'm trying to drop that.
Yeah, dude, that's great for you. Because me, on the other hand, as primarily a streamer and YouTuber second, which I'm trying to even out, but my content is, I wouldn't say it's brutal, but...
It's not.
It's most certainly not family-friendly.
If they're limiting you based on your content, like, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I think that I'm walking that fine line between, like, right, where, because, like, I swear, like, a pretty good amount, you know, like, I do some shit, but nothing too crazy that, like, would ruin, like, brand deals or anything like that would really look bad on them. But, you know, I'm definitely, like, I'm not the first person on their list that they want to, like, promote, like, in-game or anything like that, you know, like, that's a long ways away. So I'm trying to tone it down just a hair to make sure that I'm not overboard, but as we can see,
you'll get there. Like, it's all just time with this game, right? Like, YouTube is definitely just, you just gotta, it's the very slow slog of just grinding out.
I know, dude. That's YouTube. I'm starting to enjoy it. I'm starting to do daily uploads, and I'm starting to see better results. And as you see, you know, I'm just addicted to, like, growth and shit like that. So it's fun to start that journey. It's something fresh.
I do the opposite. I, like, spend way too long on, like, a minute portion of my video, and I post weekly, and I basically say, YouTube algorithm, I don't like you, so I'm not going to play to you, and it hurts me, but I don't know, I can't get myself to do it. I tried it for a bit, and I was like, I feel like I'm not selling out, but, you know, I'm changing what I want to do to fit the algorithm, and it feels wrong, but I need to do it eventually.
So what, just, like, post more content, you mean?
Because at the moment, like, again, with the strategy content, if people don't know, I spend more time on editing than I do anything else. So all of the So all of the editing I do goes into, like, a 7-minute video that I post weekly. Whereas if I did 10 minutes daily, everything would be so much better if I didn't focus on all the editing and stuff. But I don't know. I'm an addict for Vegas Pro.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Hey, what if you did that? You know, one weekly strategy video, and then every other day you just do like a deck video or something. You know, like something like that, just to fill the gaps.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing because I want to change it up. I want to actually focus on growth because I've never really cared. I've sort of just the reason I don't know how far I want to go back and explain this, but the reason I started strategy is because I enjoyed writing strategy posts anyway. So I don't know how much I want to be, you know, the strategic guy who focuses on strategy, or how much I want to go into YouTube, you know.
I mean, what are your future plans with YouTube? Are you trying to like take this as far as you can and maybe make it a career someday? Because you said, I think before I started recording, you're studying in some university or something, psychology.
Yeah.
So like, what's your angle here?
I mean, I'm one of those people who just plays it as it goes, right? Like long-term plans, not my thing. I don't know. I can't stick to it. I'm too like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do this, I'll do this, right? So like if YouTube, you know, tomorrow night I wake up, I have 10 million subs, then obviously I would focus on YouTube and do that, right? But it's just sort of, I don't know. I wake up, I'm like, today I want to focus on whatever I'm doing with my studies. I want to focus on YouTube. I want to focus on nothing. Like I just sort of do it like that. And it's really bad, right? I know you spoke about time management when you did your podcast with KFC. A lot of that was on time management. I was just sat there like, I wish I could be like these guys, but I'm just not, and I hate it.
No, I hear you, man, and it helps because I mean, it sounds like you like you said, you enjoy the in-depth editing and like that, like strategy stuff way more, which is obviously way more time consuming. So I mean, by the time you finish a video, the last thing you probably want to do is record another one that's not.
Yeah.
And I mean, too, like even if maybe you might not enjoy the videos where you're just like showing a new deck or something. Like I don't know if have you ever like, tried something like that
before, and they're like they're okay, but like it's more satisfying to me when I script something and I record everything I need to record and I edit it all together and it comes out as this like I see it as more of a product, I guess. Like it's no slight on anybody whatsoever who is on the daily grind because like huge props to keeping that consistency. I struggle with it. But yeah, to me, it's more personally satisfying to have that really highly edited product that I'm proud of, you know?
Yeah, it's like a bigger reward at the end, you know, instead of like all these little micro rewards, like daily micro rewards where it's like little dopamine. You get, you know, if you do a weekly one, it's like burst of dopamine, you're on cloud 9. I totally get it. I'm the exact opposite.
I know.
Part of it because I don't know how to edit. I use Adobe Premiere Rush, which is like the most basic, which is literally like cuts, and that's, you know, it's not shit.
Yeah.
But that's all I can use. And quite frankly, I don't have the time to do like you do with the super edited videos and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it just fits me better. But I like the little micro victories that slowly add up, and then I look back and see the progress, and that's what gets me going.
Yeah.
So I just, you know, two different styles. There's not one that's better than the other. It's just, you know.
Yeah, I know. That is actually, it's quite cool that, you know, we're both here doing the YouTube thing, but we do it so differently. Like, you can say to somebody, you know, oh, I do YouTube, but like, there's so many how do you do YouTubes, you know?
Oh, yeah. There's just within the gaming world alone. I mean, there's just so many different ways. We could make a podcast on that itself, but I'm not going to do it. Okay, so one thing that I do want to get to is like, how do you get your video ideas? Is it something like, do you crowdsource them? Does it something just pop in your head? And then like, what's your process for making it? Because like, it's interesting to me because my videos are not super edited and super thought out and super constructed. It's literally just me playing and usually roasting my opponent, and that's it. Which there's a place for that, you know, people want to see that, but also there's a big place for strategy content. Like, I mean, I think who's the most subscribed Clash Royale YouTube? Is it OJ? He's got a few million.
I think Nick or Molt might have more in terms of subs.
Right,
like, I haven't checked them in years, but
I think average views, OJ gets the most average views now.
OJ
and I mean he's like the strategy guy, right? As far as I'm concerned, for most people, there might be a better guy out there, but I mean, I don't know, like you too. But like, just walk me through your process here, because I don't understand it, and I know a lot of people don't, so I think it'd be interesting.
I don't know. I feel like it's more spontaneous than you may think. So you said about crowdsourcing, a lot of it stems from that. Like, someone will leave a comment, or I do have a Google form where I have video suggestions. There's hundreds on there. Sometimes I'll just go through that, check it, be like, oh, I'll do that one. But sometimes I just get in a roll. Like at the moment, I'm doing spell comparisons. So I've done Fireball, Poison, Log, Barb Barrel, Zap, Snowball, and tonight I have Lightning Rocket going up. So I've just done 4 of those in a row, and that's basically been a month of work. But yeah, a lot of the time it is just I'll see a comment, I'll go, yeah, I'll do that, right? And then I'll get to scripting it. It depends how cool I think an idea is, and I'll see it and I'll go, yes, that's it, and then I'll post it, and if it goes well, it goes well.
Has there ever been there's like a two ways to ask this. Has there ever been a video that you didn't think would do well and then it did extremely well, or the opposite, a video that you thought was gonna crush and then it sucked? Have you ever? Is there anything that you could think of off the top of your head? And then also to follow up on that, why do you think it like resulted in the opposite way?
Every single video, pretty much. Like I'll, when you get an idea, you sort of know if it's gonna bang or if it's just gonna be another, roll-on video. The spell comparisons right now, because there's very popular ones like Poison versus Fireball is searched for a lot because they're the like 2 most used big spells, right? And people always want to know which one should I be using because they're so interchangeable. But Lightning versus Rocket is gonna flop. Like nobody is really searching for Lightning versus Rocket because they're not great in the meta right now. But personally, I like my streak of spell comparisons, so I was like, I'll do that one anyway. If you go on my channel, search by most viewed, any in the top 5, I'll be like, no idea why that's there. Didn't expect it. I can see you moving.
I'm looking at it right now. I already had it pulled up, dude.
Condition.
Yeah,
like years.
Your video started auto playing, and it was he was talking over you. You get better with using every win condition that started auto playing.
No idea why that's first.
132k views on that one, huh?
I said 150. I was upselling myself.
Oh, you're gassing yourself up, huh? Yeah. Okay, exposed, man. I'm out here exposing people. All right, but
I don't know. I don't know why that was the most searched. Because when you think of people searching for Clash Royale content,
well, maybe it wasn't searched. I don't know. Did you look at your analytics? Was it like how did people get to this video? Because like it could just be a suggested video. Because I mean, like right now I'm looking at it, and the thumbnail's pretty good. And if I was really at any level, like if I was anywhere below pro, I would be willing to click on this video. It's 7 minutes, so it's like nice and concise, and all win conditions explained. So if I'm mediocre at the game in any way, I'm clicking on this video. So I mean, it makes sense to me, and I've never seen anything like that where it's like explains basically the entire game in 7 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have a false view of YouTube, but to me, the more original the idea, if you're a small channel anyway, the less likely it is to get picked up. Because if you're a small channel, you want to more so hop on trends because that's doing well and people want to see that content. If you're a big channel, you sort of make the trends, right? So like if all the big Clash Royale YouTubers got together and they were like, okay, we're going to really promote win conditions, right? All of our videos are going to be about win conditions. Everyone's going to be searching for the term win condition more, right? But it's not really a thing. So I don't know. If I'm honest, no idea. Maybe I just don't understand YouTube, but yeah, a lot of them are like invert of what I think. So if I think a video is going to do well, it'll do average. If I think a video is going to flop, it'll probably do better. And I don't know. It's just all like that.
So we have we're clueless, man, because me and you both, like some videos I think are going to do real well, and it's it's the exact same thing. Like you never. So I have an idea of like which ones are going to do better than others.
I can nail that, but I don't know about like blowing up or flopping. I know one will do averagely a little bit better, but I have no idea which ones are going to go to the top. Because if I did, I'd just make all the ones that go to the top, right? I don't think anyone knows. Because if anyone knew, that's all they'd do, and then all their videos would do well. But I guess it's impossible to know.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I started doing recently too, is trying to ride trends. So like, especially like tactically, here's a little pro tip for any of you small time YouTubers like myself. Like if I'm making a video that's similar, I'm trying to think of an example, but if I'm making a video that's similar to something else that like a big YouTuber made, or like I'll take some of the video tags from their video, so that way like they're kind of like within like YouTube's algorithm. I don't know, nobody knows exactly how it works, but like within the back end, I would think that like if there's similar tags in this video and they have a similar title, and then it kind of links them together somehow, so maybe it'll be suggested. I'm trying to like latch on, especially when Clash Royale, like the official Clash Royale releases a video, I'll look at their tags and try and mimic those too, so just so I'm associated.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time, and I used to feel like sort of ashamed of doing it. It's like, oh, I'm like stealing onto your
Everybody does it.
But yeah, that's what I was going to say to you. I was like, do that and don't feel ashamed of it because you sort of have to. But also, you said an interesting point. Like when you steal tags, you're like, oh, hopefully the algorithm will latch me on. Sometimes I wonder if it does the opposite. Sometimes I wonder if Google has seen that you've been to that page, like before you post a video, and will be like, oh, you're doing that on purpose. I wonder how smart it is. I'm not saying that happens, but sometimes I wonder
it's an
how
interesting
smart it is,
Right.
because it's Google, right?
They could do that if they wanted to. Then they could do a million. Like the capability, I'm sure, is there. It's just whether or not if they are. Yeah, no, I'm sure the algorithm is. This is a billion trillion dollar company. I'm sure their algorithm is. There's so many things to it. But I was talking to Ash. We were in a group call a while ago, and he said that a few years ago, I think he talked to someone at YouTube, and they kind of gave him like someone that worked on the algorithm side of things. And they obviously they can't spill the beans on how it exactly works, but they gave him some suggestions. And this is a few years ago, so it might be outdated, but I thought it was interesting nonetheless. Like if you look at his videos and like Sir Tag's videos, and I started doing it too recently, is the first 3 lines of the description. It's like you repeat the title, you have your name, and then you do like watch next, and I think there's 3 lines, but there's 3 lines. And you're supposed to have like there's like a format that they use, so and that was the suggested format that they got, that someone that works at YouTube. And then the guy that worked at YouTube also said that it kind of puts you in circles within the algorithm, so like your account will be associated with other accounts. So like if you can get yourself associated with CWA, then you'll be under his suggested. If someone's watching a CWA video, you might be suggested next. So like, but there are like pockets. And how you get in those pockets, I have no idea. I've also seen other YouTubers like. Well, I mean, a lot of people do it, especially with CWA. Like in their video tags, they'll throw CWA as a video tag. I've seen that a whole bunch. Yeah, like you do that, I'll do that. As much as I can. He also said like in the description, like if you say let's just say if you do a video with him, if you're lucky enough, you want to make sure you put CWA, Clash with Ash, like have all those keywords in the description, and like have his channel link, and then it like somehow it ties it all together. Yeah, which is it makes sense to me.
Legendary ranking videos, he does one every like 3 months or whatever.
Yeah,
when I was like first starting out, I was like, I'm gonna respond to every single one of these type videos that he does, so I can put him in the thumbnail, put him in the title, latch onto a subject he's literally just posted. And I don't know, it sort of works.
Yeah, I mean, those videos did well then?
I couldn't tell you, it was ages ago. And again, I'm not really one for the numbers. Like I tend not to look at it. I'm just like, I'll know if someone does super well because someone in like Discord will say, oh, this video did really well, but I don't really look at them that much. I look at analytics more than I look at raw numbers, because analytics are just cool and interesting to me because I'm a big nerd. But yeah, I don't really look at like, all of my videos' performances, because honestly, I'm just doing what I do. And I am the anti-YouTuber. I'll say, if anyone's starting YouTube and is listening to me, don't take my advice. I am like opposite of what you should do. I'm horrible. I'm awful.
Well, see, there's an argument for that, because it's interesting you say that, because it's like the opposite of what you should do, but you're sitting over there at 21K or whatever you're at subscribers, which I mean, yeah, that's like, I'm pretty sure that's top 1% of YouTube. I mean, I would be shocked if it wasn't. Yeah,
if it was.
You know how many YouTubers there are out there that have 30 subs and like so many, so many, like. I'm not even monetized yet, so I'm definitely like small fish. But I mean, 20K, that's imagine putting 20K people in a room, or like that's like a sellout stadium. In most, like that's a lot of fucking people, man. And then you throw that with Twitter, and I mean, I'm sure there's overlap, but I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's cool. Yeah. Especially nowadays.
It's obviously cool. I don't know if it's big though. It's like, I'd say maybe middle. I'd say.
Do you ever flex in real life? Do you ever, like, if anyone asks you like what you do you say like I'm a student and then I do YouTube, and they say how many you got, and they say like 20K, like so I want to know what I'm trying to figure out what the clout threshold is. Like when you say like I have 10K, are people like, oh, or is it like 50K, or like I know 100K, after 100K it's like everyone's like, oh shit, like
I think you can maybe turn eyes at like 10K where people will be like, oh, that's sort of cool. But I would never like flex it like that, because I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but here in the UK, if this is really toxic, right? If you have any like vested interest in anything, people will try and use that against you. Not necessarily strangers, but people you're close with. So I would never do that, just because that's sort of the society I live in. But also, I'm not really, it's 20K, as I just said. Obviously, I don't know. Maybe it's different because of where I'm from.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay, that's an interesting perspective. So speaking of where you're from, I want to shift topics here, because we've been geeking out, and I'm all for that. But like, I'm sure there's some people here that are just like, these fucking guys just won't stop talking about analytics. So I want to shift a little bit. This I don't know if I could say it without getting super demonetized and shit. This illness that's flying around the world that we all know and love. don't love, Jesus Christ, don't love.
I was gonna say, yeah.
This illness. What's the deal? What's it like over there? Because I mean, here I haven't left my house in 5 days. And so I work from home, like with my career I work from home anyways, and then I basically just sit at my desk for 15 hours a day, so it doesn't really change much, but it's annoying because I can't, like, I want to go to the gym but I can't, I want to, you know, maybe like on a Saturday I'd like to go out but I can't. So I mean, outside of that, it's not a huge deal to me, but I'm not in the nitty gritty. It hasn't really like affected me directly. Yeah.
So the only effect it's had on me is, I don't know if it was because of this, but I was doing a live stream yesterday and YouTube actually cancelled my live stream. I was just booted offline because I think it's because we were talking about it, right? I had like a 5-minute section where I was talking about, somebody asked me something and we went into a few details, some stats and stuff. And like half an hour later, I was just booted from my stream and I was like, that's insane. But yeah, I live in a county called Norfolk. You've probably never heard of it, in England. Our county is like the equivalent of your states, but they're really small. Called Norfolk. It's right on the edge. It's really big, but has no people in it. So in terms of a virus, I'm fine because there's like 10 people that live here, and it's really big. So it's probably not going to spread. And I'm the same as you. I study from home, and I do YouTube from home. So the only time I really go out is if I'm going to, like, you know, a social event with my mates. But you know, as long as they're all fine, I'm pretty much fine. And our country hasn't got it. I mean, it's getting worse. I don't know when this is going out, but at the time of recording, it's not insanely bad here. We're not on lockdown. We don't have to stay in. I think 2 days ago, they shut down schools, and yesterday they shut down like pubs and stuff. So it's starting to affect people. But yeah, at the moment, the only thing I've been affected by is YouTube hate me.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that because I know that, I don't know if you've seen, but like Netflix and YouTube, they're like restricting, or they lowered the video quality. So like I don't think you could stream in 4K. I don't know if it's all of Europe or something like that. I don't think they've done it over here. So I mean, you know, we're big balling with our 4K streams, but yeah, they restricted the bandwidth because for those of you guys that are listening that don't know, like so many people are isolated over there in Europe because of this illness, and like everyone's just on the internet, and like the pipes can't handle it basically, so they have to restrict because like that's streaming in 4K and shit, like streaming in 4K takes up a fuck ton of bandwidth, so they're like restricting that. So I think it dropped by like 25% or like something like that. So maybe it was something like that where they booted you off just because you were using so much bandwidth or got overloaded so that it dumped, or maybe it was because you were talking about it and they thought you were spreading fake news. I mean, who knows? It's no one really knows at this point, but I mean, it's just interesting that like that, because that's like a first-hand experience. That
I know,
you know,
I've never had anything like that either, like ever. YouTube's never interacted with my channel at all, and then this one time I'm like, you know, I'm just doing it was one of those streams. I don't know if this is a category, but I was just editing a video and streaming that because I was like, oh, I'm gonna be doing this anyway, why don't I stream it? And you know, I had like 30 people in there because again, I'm a Clash channel. I wasn't doing Clash and nobody's watching. And yeah, I don't know, it's just insane to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. So how did that stream do? This is like purely for me, like curiosity. Like, are you gonna do it again, like that kind of thing? Obviously, it's not gonna pop off numbers wise, but was it something that was good? Would you do it again?
Yeah, again, like I very rarely look at numbers. The only reason I know the number is because I took a screenshot for the video I was editing, and it had the number of viewers in it. So it's the only reason I really know the number. But I'll do it again because it was nice to, you know, talk to chat and just connect with a very small community. I feel like having a small community is nice because, you know, not that you get to know people, but you get to, you know, you recognize people more, and you're like, oh, welcome back. You know, I saw you yesterday. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's a bit more intimate.
If I'm just doing work anyway, why not I do work and stream? 2 birds, 1 stone, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I'll tell that to my chat sometimes when I'm streaming. It's like when it's a little bit slower because maybe there's like a couple other big streamers that are higher up on me on the browse page. So, I mean, I'm not getting all the new peeps, but like, I like growing as a streamer, but every once in a while, it's nice to have like a slower day where like only the day ones are there, because then, you know, you can actually like talk to them and vibe. And, you know, I'm all about like building a community, and like that's one thing that a lot of people like, dude, I hate fucking gassing myself up like this, but like people seem to say like I respond to every single Instagram DM or Twitter DM that I get, which that's good because people actually, because then people start to view you as more of like a friend, and they actually like care about you and, you know, support your shit more. And then obviously it makes the entire experience better like if you have familiar names in the chat.
Man,
And like what I started doing recently is when I'm streaming just randomly, I'll be like, all right, throw your Instagram in the chat right now and I'll check it out. And then for one, that does two things. I'm trying to put a face to a name so I can see who some of these people are. And then just
You're stalking.
Basically, yeah. And then two, it kind of like promotes my Instagram because then people are going to go check me out, which isn't a huge factor, but I mean, it's something worth mentioning, I guess. Yeah. But then three, it like helps build the community. So other people in the chat, when they see, I'm going to give him a shout out, Pastor TP, this guy, he's one of my mods. I unmod him and mod him like every other day because, you know, it's just one of those kind of things. I like to fuck with him a little bit. But like when people see his name in the chat, now they can put his name to a face and they can actually, you know, so it builds a community when people know who each other are.
Yeah, of course.
So something like that, you know, I just thought it was a good thing to like, you know,
it's an angle. One thing you said that interested me when you were like, you answer every Instagram DM. I think you said, I can't remember the phrasing you used, but basically you're talking about how, you know, it makes you less of a creator, more of just a person, right? Mm-hmm. The most insane thing to me is that people still message me like Clash Royale friend links and stuff. And when I accept it, they're like, wow, I didn't expect you to accept it. I'm like, dude, I'm just another guy who plays this game.
Dude, I was talking with I forget who I was talking to. Like no one, just like one of my buddies in real life that, you know, just has like a regular job and all that shit. But I was like, dude, I don't know how to explain it, but like, and this is going to sound kind of egotistical, but I'm going to try and dumb it down as much as possible. Like, I kind of get where celebrities are coming from. Like, I'm starting to get a little bit of that because I have 12K on Instagram. So, I mean, that's not, I think that's not even top 1 million. I think I'm ranked 2.3 million as far as Instagram followers go.
For social media, that's really high.
I suppose. But I mean, like, I'm still like, but point being, I'm a nobody as far as I'm concerned. But like, I'll still get like DMs that are like, oh my God, I can't believe you even responded. And they're like actually freaking out. It's just like stuff like, I'm just a dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, so like,
I feel that, man.
You know, I never, and it's super small scale. And, you know, it doesn't happen all the time, but it has happened like at least a few dozen times. But it's just like you never understand it until it happens to you, like just getting the other side of the coin. Like obviously it's completely different for people like Justin Bieber or something like that, you know, that's a whole different world. But like, because I used to like, everyone does it where you like idolize these celebrities and then you never fully understand it until you're on the other side. And just even getting a small taste of what that's like, where it's just like, what the fuck, like, I'm just a dude, like don't fangirl over me, like what the fuck. You know, it's weird, but I mean it happens. And it was just an interesting experience that I wanted to vocalize.
It's really cool when it happens as well. You feel not like in an ego sense, but you feel like you're actually getting somewhere with what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. Not like, you know, I'm becoming famous, but it's like, oh, my socials are actually starting to grow. And it's like, it's easy to look at the number and go, oh, it's actually growing. But those interactions are more meaningful because you know that's an actual person.
Mm-hmm. It's not just some random account.
Yeah, when you see like 12,000 followers on your Instagram, that's just a number. But when one of them messages you and they give you an interaction like that, that's an actual human that's done that. I don't know, it's a bit different.
No, that's I would rather have one high quality follower that like engages with all my shit. We talk in the with DMs. Yeah, because I mean, you know, there's the difference between like just some random guy from fucking Iran that follows you and never even looks at any of your shit ever again. Like it's just a number at that point. And thank you, random guy from Iran, for boosting my stats. But you know, I like the direct relationships with some of your followers or subs or whatever, because then it kind of makes it a little bit more human as opposed to just racking up the numbers, you know?
That's my favorite part. Like even now, even on videos that, you know, do really well, I respond to every single comment, and even when they reply to my reply, I'll go back and reply to the reply, because that's the best part of this whole thing for me, is that, you know, I know what, like when I was like younger and I watched a lot more YouTube than I do now, I would leave comments on videos, and if I ever got a response that was like, wow, you know, this creator that I really enjoy watching has responded to my stuff and acknowledged me. And like, I know that if I just interact with people and anyone ever, I'm not saying they should, I'm not saying I'm big time or anything like that, but if anyone ever feels like they even want, cool, I've put positivity into the world, and that's a really cool thing for me to do. And it's like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I'll give an example just being on the flip side. I was simping for Corinna Kopf. Like, you know her?
Yeah, I know.
Of course. And
I think I saw your tweet. You tweeted, right?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've tweeted, I've IG'd, I've done the whole 9 yards, but so I don't know which one you saw. But she liked. I think she said like someone hang out with me. That was like her Instagram caption or something like
That's
someone
what I
date
saw.
me or something like that. Yeah, I think I tweeted it too, but she liked my comment, and I know what she does. Like she just goes through and likes like 100 comments, and you know she might not even read it. Maybe she did. It's not like she clicked on my profile. It's not like any of that. It was just cool to know that maybe she read my comment. You know, like there's at least some sort of relative small chance in the world, 0.0001, that she'll read a comment, click on my profile, see me, follow me, and then I'll be able to slide in the DMs even more effectively. I'll be in the general instead of the secondary DM box, and then I can slide in and make my move and eventually wife her up. It was cool. It was, you know, a little dopamine release.
I support it. Keep going, man.
So
I think if you leave like 1,000 comments on every post, your chances go up.
You're not wrong. I also might get flagged as being a spam bot or blocked, but hey, high risk, high reward.
Different accounts, in my opinion.
Oh, create an alt
account.
account.
I rate the grind's worth it.
I should simp on an alt account, is what you're suggesting.
Alt accounts, 1,000 different accounts.
So okay, we're going all in.
Yeah.
So that way, if she'll have to respond to, she can't block all of them, but she'll have to respond to one eventually.
If you are all of the comments on her Instagram, she has to. If she's liking any comments, she'll like one of yours.
The shotgun approach, I like it.
Yeah.
Instead of the sniper approach, I like it. All right, well, hey, I know what I'm doing the rest of my Sunday. So with that being said, let's wrap up the podcast. I gotta go. No, I'm kidding. But yes. Anyways, wrapping that to bring that full circle. I don't know how I'm gonna bring that full circle, but
good luck.
It's interesting. It's an interesting dynamic, is what I'm saying. Is having even a glimpse of what a celebrity. No, I won't say famous, but I will say celebrity, which is basically synonymous. But you know, it's cool. It's cool. It's a cool feeling, and it reinforces what I'm doing in a weird way. Like when someone sends me a message, it's like personal. Like a few weeks ago, I actually shared it on my Instagram story because it was like super personal, and like this guy was like, "Man, I love your videos. They make my day better." You know, like the whole 9 yards. It's cliche shit, but you know, I don't get that all that often. And I'm just like, damn, you know, because then I like Nick Merckx for me. Do you know who that is?
Yep.
Yeah, big Fortnite, Call of Duty, Twitch streamer, whatever guy. But like, to me, like that's a guy I looked up to, right? Like not so much in the celebrity, well, kind of, but I really look up to him, and like that's the kind of message. Like I know what him and his content mean to me. So when someone says that to me, like I'm like, damn, I do that for someone else, because like,
yeah.
It's just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just a bonehead that farts into his mic and loses half his games. Like, how am I making your day so much better? But it's a real thing, and I don't know. I don't want to like gas myself up too much here, but I don't get to nerd out about this with anybody else. So here it's all overflowing out now. Because as a creator, I'm sure you know, as a creator, it's kind of lonely in a weird way. Not too bad, but like, I mean, there's a lot. You spend a lot of time by yourself, you know, editing the videos.
Especially like editing and stuff. Because for me, it can be like, you know, 8 hours a day. Like that's a very rare instance, but that can be. And editing's the worst because you're listening to your own voice, doing your own clips. You know, everything is by yourself, for yourself, and it's I streamed, as I said yesterday, I was editing, and people were like, "Do you ever hate your own voice?" I'm like, I used to like my own voice, but it's been destroyed as I've done because I hear it so much. I'm like, oh, that annoying guy again.
Yeah, not this fucking Bailey guy. I can't get rid of him. No, I hear you. Unfortunately, I don't edit my videos that much, so I don't have to deal with it. But yes, and it is weird hearing my own voice. Like I don't like. Because I have to, but like I would never sit down and watch one of my own streams, because then I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, and I feel like I've seen big creators say this shit, like when they watch back their own stream and they're just like fucking cringing, and it's like, oh god, it's like, how do people watch this? And I think everybody gets that, like watching yourself, it's weird, it's not the same, you know, you don't get the same experience. But no, I don't, because I don't do the extensive editing like you do, so I watch it back as minimal as possible, just to clip the games that I want to use for YouTube, and then scoot it on its merry way, get it out of here.
I keep recalling to this one podcast. I promise it's not the only one I've watched. The KFC one, and he was like, he used this program that I'd never heard of. I had to search it, where it automatically, not automatically, but you just trim the start and the end. And I was like, that's pretty insane. Like for how big that guy is, and he never has to hear his own voice on that sort of topic. That's pretty insane.
I don't remember that. What do you mean it just trims the beginning and the end?
Like it's an editing software. You were talking about your editing softwares, and he was like, I use this one where I don't really have to edit. I just sort of trim the start and the end, and then it's pretty much done. But to me, where I spend so many hours listening to myself, I'm like, That's crazy. I wish I could be that guy.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you mean now. Yeah. Well, I mean, he does kind of videos that I do too. You know, it's not. I don't think he does like super strategy. So, you know, just it's what you signed up for. So you got to deal with it. It's one of the repercussions. Okay, here, I want to check. What we're going on about 42 minutes here, and I've got a hard cut off at an hour. So I just want to. Not that there's any. Not that I'm trying to scoot you out of here because I'm enjoying vibing this, but I want to see. I tweeted this out, and I want to see if there's any good questions that should be asked to either of us. So I don't know if you've got it pulled up too. If you could look.
I don't want to read them out because I'm not hosting this, but you have 4 questions there.
4,000, right? Yes, 4,000 questions. Sorry. So if we pick you, you're very lucky in this immense pool of questions that you're.
I think I cut out. I said 4 million, not 4.
Oh yeah, the counter on my end's broken. It just says 1,000 plus notifications. So
right, yeah.
Okay, here's one. How do you feel about the state of Clash Royale, and then in parentheses, meta, updates, events, seasons, etc. Just general vibe of the game,
so
I guess.
You know your 1 hour hard limit? Can we make it a 4 hour hard limit? I'm gonna be here a while.
No, we cannot. Give me the clear and concise. Give me the cliff notes.
One of the reasons, there's many reasons I started, but one of the reasons I wanted to become a Clash creator is because I felt like there's nobody who talks out about the state of Clash in an honest way, right? People are always so positive and upbeat, and personally, I don't know if it's a cultural thing. Again, people tell me this is very British, but if I think something's bad, I will say it's bad, and I don't know if that's a personality, if it's a culture thing, but Clash Royale hasn't had a big game-changing update in over a year. And it's pretty insane to me. When I did a whole video on it and I looked at like Google Trends, I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
But every update, it goes up, goes down slowly, big update, goes up, down slowly. And that's how the game sort of started, because the updates at the start were really game changing. Like when challenges first came out and when they brought out 6 cards at a time, those things, big spikes, right? The only thing that was bigger than that in terms of spikes was when they did big like esports events or advertising events. And I know they have CRL now, but I don't personally watch CRL because I think the old Clash Royale events were better in my opinion. Maybe it's nostalgia, but off topic. In terms of updates, I don't know. I've sort of given up hope. I used to say on videos, oh, I hope they bring this feature, this feature, this feature, but I stopped doing that because they haven't. And I don't know if they're going to hate me for saying that, but yeah, in terms of updates, there needs to be something big. And in your recent podcast where you're going through the AMA and you were like, I'm going to be realistic, this is probably going to happen in like 7 months. I felt that hit me because they're always like, yeah, later this year, December,
December 31st, that big update's coming.
Yeah,
and exactly. And a little update on that, just to, while we're on the subject, is I saw something on, I think it was Clash with Shane tweeted out, that it's not going to be a story mode. I think it was like Seth said something on Reddit that like story mode, he said that basically it wouldn't add much value to the game and it wouldn't be very replayable or something like that, which totally makes sense. And I hope I'm glad, because I didn't want a story mode anyways, because
I'm with you.
Like he said, I even my whole life I've never played like story mode games. Maybe like Fable 2 was the only like story mode game I've ever played.
I played story mode games, but I skipped the story.
Yeah, like I hate watching the dialogue boxes and like the cutscenes and shit. I skip all that. I like competing against other people and I like beating the fuck out of them. That's what I enjoy. Every game I've ever played, Call of Duty, RuneScape, Clash Royale, like everything. It's always multiplayer and I like competing. So I don't want a story mode. Like so I'm glad. So it's almost certain that it's gonna be a clan war rework, and I have no idea how they're gonna rework it to make it. They definitely could improve it. I don't know how, but it could definitely be improved. But I don't know.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, there's about a trillion ways they can improve it, but not my job to figure out. But I don't know. It's like it'll still be clan wars at the end of the day. So I don't know how they could do it to really like I'm hoping for something that could bring this game back to like close to its prime. Like a big update. And I don't know if that's gonna do it. It's definitely gonna be big. It's definitely gonna be an improvement. But is it gonna be because I mean, right now, as far as mobile esports go and like competitive mobile, there's not really shit. Like I don't know, Fortnite mobile, COD mobile. I mean PUBG. But like, as far as like the US goes, and I'm guessing that we're over there in your side of the pond over there in Britain is pretty much the same. Yeah. But I mean, 100%. Clash Royale is like still like there's not a whole lot of competition. So like I don't know if they just. I don't know, man. There's so much opportunity that they're letting slide, because I don't know if you know, but Supercell is like a 300-person company or something like that, which is ridiculous.
I've spoken about it before, but I don't get it. They always use that as like almost an excuse. Not saying they're using it.
They try and like they have a positive spin on it, which there is an element of that. Close teams. Only having the essential people. I get that, but at the same time, if you hire just like a few more people, maybe a couple more developers, so that way instead of December 31st, this comes out in July. That would be great. Like
December 30th.
Maybe creative, or maybe because right now they have like, I think it's Seth and Drew that are literally like the entire community management for this game, this massive game, this multi-billion-dollar game. They have 2 people managing the community, and along with whatever other jobs that they do there. So it's just like maybe one more guy. Like it feels like they're trying to squeeze as much as they can out of these people to maximize profits, and they're trying to like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just don't have the view of it. But...
you spoke about the the creator program. There are like other people who do the community manager stuff. In their defense, there are a lot of like Drew speaks in there quite a bit, but there's like other guys who speak in there quite a lot. But that's a cool gimmick, right? I think that's how I describe it. Having like a 300-person company is a gimmick. But if you want, like, obviously they're the experts, not me. I'm just some kid in a bedroom right now. But in my opinion, if they even added 100 more people, which isn't a lot considering how much
with the revenue that is nothing.
Like, imagine if this game was 25% more popular. Obviously it's not quite how it works, but imagine, right? There's so much more opportunity and there's so much more stuff to be done, and I don't know. The only thing that really ties me to Clash Royale still is that it's just replayable, right? Like the glorious thing about it is that it's always going to be the same mechanics. So updates will take it so far, but you're always going to have 3 towers against your opponent's 3 towers, and you'll have 10 elixir and 8 cards, right? So that sort of keeps me in. But game modes for me are the biggest thing. Like, they added 2v2, but in my opinion, that was actually damaging for the game because of what it did in terms of, you used to have to play 1v1 with your trophies to get chests to upgrade your cards. Now you can do it on 2v2. There's no risk whatsoever, and you can max whatever cards you want by just playing 2v2. Theoretically, you could be an Arena 1 max player without ever playing a 1v1 game. And that to me is dumb, and in my opinion, hurt the game. You remember Touchdown? Touchdown? When they were like, this is a quote, they were like, this is the biggest update ever. I don't know if it's actually a quote, but that's pretty much what they're...
Yeah, they definitely guessed it up to be huge, and it was the shittiest game mode by far.
There's so much potential, but none of it is realized. None of it is actually used, and it's so frustrating as a content creator, because you're like, if the game succeeds, I succeed. And 100%. Sometimes you work so hard, and maybe you don't see the results that maybe you envision. And sometimes it feels like it's not yours, not your problem, because the game is very limiting in what you can do.
Yeah, it's...
I don't want to whine about it, but
no, we gotta let it out, and I think a lot of people listening will feel the same way. We're kind of just the ones to vocalize it, but I feel like there's a lot of opportunity that they're leaving on the table. To me, the quickest way I could summarize it is it feels like they're playing defense instead of going on the offense and trying to innovate. Yeah. So they're just super, let's do these conservative updates, 1 new card, a couple balance changes, nothing crazy, just casually coasting. So the game's gonna do one of these, just slowly go down, right? Yeah. And then it's just prevention. Like, it's straight defense instead of offense. I want to see them like
risk.
Maybe it's, I don't know if maybe it's part of their strategy where they're purposely playing defense because they have a big game coming out and they're going to shift, or I don't know the inner workings there. Maybe they just don't have the resources, so it takes them 3 years to develop reworked clan wars. I don't fucking know, but it's just so defensive and it's slow and it's. I don't know. If I was a CEO, the first thing I would do is kick down everyone's door and say, all right, I need a big update in a month. Let's fucking go, baby. And then and if it flops, then fuck it. It flops. And then we take it out. But come on. Let's push it a little bit.
But it didn't kill the game, right?
Right.
Like, that risk was
and
fine.
some people enjoyed it. A few people did.
And if it does go really big, great. It's gone really big. But if it happens like it happened, everyone sort of forgets about it. Like, I asked you if you remember Touchdown, because there's a very good chance you go, wait, Touchdown? Is that like a thing? I also want to go back to the comment, because they asked like 4 different questions in there. We only went to 1, which is my fault. The meta right now, I think Seth gets way too much stick. I think he isn't perfect because how can you be perfect? He was a streamer before he did this, right? He went in and he was like, he knows a little bit about the game, but he's never going to be perfect. So in my opinion, he does an underrated job. Not perfect, but pretty good. The meta's in the best spot ever, which you could argue was inevitably going to happen, but he's got it there, and, you know, I don't want to rag on him too much.
No, he's doing his job. I agree on that. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, I do monthly reviews where I rate balance changes, and the only complaints I ever have is I wish there were more. The ones where we get like 4 changes a month is like, to me, balance changes should balance the game and freshen the game, or refreshen the game. They shouldn't only focus on balancing, because if you have a balanced game, balance changes go away, and it's the same game forever, right? It's a little bit like, you can get away with not updating the game if there's a new meta every month. Because say next month, I'm trying to think of a bad card, Bomber was the best card in the game. It's almost like having a new card. Because that
would shift everything.
Yeah, there's some niche decks that use it, but if Bomber was like the most meta card in the game, the meta shifts up, and for a month you have this game which is now Bomber Royale, right? And then next month you have a new card, you tone Bomber down, and say Wizard becomes the most powerful card in the game. It's now Wizard Royale for a month, right? And to me, it sounds toxic to make things too strong, but I'm not even saying too strong, I'm just saying shift it up a little bit.
Right, yeah, no, I saw a tweet on my timeline like a month ago that someone was like, we've been calling for a balanced game for years now, and now that it's actually balanced, I kind of want it unbalanced again. You know, it's just like, it starts to get to a point where it's like, all right, I kind of liked abusing broken cards, and you know, it was like
100%. The best time in 2019 for me was, it was just 2019? I think it was, the Elixir Golem meta with Night Witch and Healer. To me, that was the most fun because it was so, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's so fresh. We had nothing like that before. It was, everything was like, every game, you know, I have no idea what my opponent's running. I'm running this deck that I've just stolen from the leaderboards because I'm unoriginal like that. And I'm just continually playing these random games. But it's a little bit nice when, you know, you can sort of build around a meta and be like, oh, no, which everywhere, you know, I'll use Executioner. Or in a more niche scenario, cards like Wizard become stronger in that sort of meta. I'm not saying it was strong, but that's how much it shifts up the meta, and that's fun in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's kind of nice to
wow, the first person ever.
Use some cards. Well, yeah, I mean, especially me, because like I'm not a pro player by any means. I create high octane victories and a lot of losses, but I like being able to abuse cards because like I'm not gonna outskill like the top players, but if I can abuse like a golem first, which I don't do golem first play or anything like that strictly because I don't have the card levels, but I would because I like to abuse that kind of shit because that gives me the advantage, that gives me a chance against better players. So then there's always that hope that I can like excel to the top because like I'm not just gonna get there naturally, and that's the boat that most people are in. Is if we can like just find that one little tweak that we can kind of abuse just to give us a little bit of an edge, it makes it a little bit more fun and challenging. Because if it's purely based on skill, if it's like eventually you'll hit that point, and that's why they started doing the trophy inflation shit, is because everyone was hitting that point where they get to, and then like the skill levels evil out. So this like the same people are going to be in the top 1,000, the same people are going to be 1,000 to 10,000. So they had to like you're not really progressing. So now they give you this artificial trophy inflation to make you feel like you're progressing.
It feels like you're progressing,
but like your global rank is still the same. You know, your trophy count's higher, but you're still, you know, whatever.
Yeah. I had a friend who came back to the game recently. He hadn't played in like 2 years, and he sent me a message, and he was like, "Yeah, I've just started playing again, and I've gone up like 2,000 trophies. Am I just really good?" And I had to explain to him, it's like when a kid is like really excited about something, but you're like, it's
the burst his bubble. I know.
Yeah, I know. I had to explain.
And he's
to him,
like, "Fuck." He thought he was vibing. He's like, "Man, I'm a natural. I'm gonna start streaming." You know, he's trying to gas himself up, and you're just like, "Dude, trophy inflation, your ass.
Yeah.
You're still mediocre." It's just it's an interesting strat, and you know, it doesn't hurt them to do. I get why they did it, and I'm glad they did it, but it's just
I'm not
like
complaining about it. It's good.
No. It's I wouldn't take it out, but it also is important to recognize that it's kind of this fake thing.
Yeah,
you know?
And I think I think people playing games in general focus too much on that trophy number because like it is just a game, right? Like, yes, of course, you want higher trophies, and I have a very unpopular opinion on this, but it is literally just a pixel that changes color on a screen. Like, it doesn't actually mean anything unless you get, like, you know, really high up, and then you get, like, used to get sponsored accounts and whatnot. But now it's like, for people who aren't in that top bracket, it's like whatever. And to me, I think it's more important that the game is fun in lower arenas than it is balanced in lower arenas, because people want to have fun playing the game, and they also want to climb. But if you can have a little bit of both, great. If everything is perfectly balanced, it's a little bit boring. And yeah, you're going to climb, but I'd rather have fun in a game, and that's unpopular for me. But I think the game, if it gets too balanced, it loses a little bit of its quirkiness,
Yeah, it becomes a little bit more gray.
Yeah.
No, I totally get it. I 100% understand that.
I've never said that to anyone, because I know I usually get slaughtered for it, but here we are.
I mean, I love slaughtering people, and I do it all the time, especially to my viewers, because fuck those guys. Isn't that right, viewers? Yeah, fuck them. But yes, no, I like slaughtering people. But no, I understand where you're coming from, and I understand both points, and I can kind of agree with both points. So I'm basically as on the fence as you can get with this. So that's super safe play from me here. That's rare. You don't get that too often. Wow. I usually take one or the other, but
you pull in the supercell.
Yeah, literally. I'm playing defense right now. I hate it. So, all right. So we're at 58 minutes right now. If anyone's still making it this far in the podcast, God bless you. You either have the longest commute to work possible or no social life, which is very possible now with this illness going on. So, thank you for all your love, guys. Let's wrap up with some closing statements. Is there anything that you want the people to know about? Are you coming out with anything big that you want to promote? You want to plug your socials? This is your time to shine.
I was not prepared for this.
I know you're not. That's the point.
I've seen your podcast, and I know you do this, and that's the part that's hurting me right now. Is that I knew that this was coming, and I was like, nah, I'm not proing this. One thing I do want to do, right? You're gonna edit this podcast, right? You're gonna edit this podcast, right? None of it? Can you do a little bit for me?
Maybe. I don't know why.
Right. One thing I really like in podcasts is when there's a little bit at the start, with just a few clips, right? And it's
like the highlights, yeah.
I want to say some controversial stuff that I don't mean, but you can put at the start.
All right, fuck it, let's go. I'll see if I can edit it. All right, yeah, fire off some hot topics here, and then I'll give some gassed up reactions.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say it like I'm in normal conversation, so I'm not really gonna act it, right? So ignore my
scripting drama. I like this. All right, let's go. Let it rip.
Yeah. All right. Clash Royale content creators, like in my opinion, they're all a little bit cringe.
Oh my god, are you taking a shot at me?
A little bit, mainly at you, yes.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to throw hands. All right, good. That's like a good intro.
Yes, just no. I have a few more. I wrote it down.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, let's let it rip.
Yeah. So I'm mentioning it again, but your podcast with KFC Clash, right? My man said the word ting, right? I don't know if you know where he is from. He's not from London. He's not from England. That's my thing. And I just want to, personally, to him, don't say that word again.
Oh my god, KFC, you hear that? That's insane. We got some drama and stirring in the Clash Royale community. We might have to do like a boxing match like KSI and Logan Paul. Throw the gloves on, baby. All right, what else you got? These are clips galore.
Yes, see? You're with me. I don't know which one I want to use. I'll do one more. Okay. All right. In all honesty, I think out of all of your guests so far, I might be the best player you've had on. In all honesty.
As far as talent goes?
Yes. Like,
you're not wrong.
I look at the guests you've had on, and I'm sort of like, And sometimes I look at you, and I'm like, do you not know any better players?
Dude, I'm pulling straws here, man. It's just...
There we go. That's it.
Well, man, you just ended it with the bomb. Just cook everybody.
Yes. So I was watching a podcast and they did that on the intro, and I was like, I could do this.
Good attention grabber.
Yeah. We're probably gone over an hour now, but I just want to say like
hour and 1 minute. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. I don't know. Just thanks for having me on the podcast. I really enjoy these. I like talking. I'm a huge extrovert, so talking to people to me is like the best pastime, and especially with all the stuff that's going on in the world, where talking to people right now isn't the most accessible thing. Just I hope people watch this, and with that stuff going on, it's a little bit like having a conversation that you're just listening into, and I hope people enjoyed that far.
Yes, and people listening, feel free to engage with us on social medias at Rozay GG and at Trey Bola. What's your Twitter?
TR Ebola Bailey is how I always say it.
TR Ebola Bailey.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
I don't know what the TR is, but yeah.
Fuck it. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. Nobody gives a fuck. People could just think it's your initials or something. I mean, who knows? But yeah, so if any of you guys that were listening have any questions or follow-up thoughts with this podcast here, feel free to hit us up. As we said earlier, we check all of our mentions and DMs and shit like that, so we will see it. And as long as you're not a complete asshat, we'll probably reply. So
I reply
easy to engage. Oh, all right. Well, there you go. So you can hit them up with fire everything. We don't care. All right. Well, dude, stay on the line here. I want to end the podcast here, but don't hang up. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Feel free to hit us up on socials. I'll have all of the links in the description of this, whether you're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or whatever. So feel free to hit us up. And then last but not least, if you made it this far, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or whatever, because that helps out with the algorithm. If you're on YouTube, just drop a like. If you made it this far, you have no idea how much that helps out just getting this video and this content or this podcast out to other people. So I would appreciate it a million times. Thank you, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.